A bombshell investigation at the University of Oklahoma. Teachers within the state may get a raise under a new budget proposal, and a controversial firearm bill passes the state house. This is OU Nightly. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and welcome to OU Nightly. I'm Parker Thune.
And I'm Brooke Murski. We begin tonight with a massive developing story right here on OU's campus. The university has opened an investigation into former OU President David Boren for sexual harassment.
Jaycie Bayless is live on campus with the details. Jaycie?
Well, Parker and Brooke, the University of Oklahoma is paying one of the largest law firms in the United States to investigate David Boren. Now, Jones Day Law Firm has asked Boren whether he sexually harassed his former male administrative assistants. The OU Board of Regents is the one who authorized this ongoing investigation into the allegations of serious misconduct. Now, Lauren Brooke, the OU Vice President of Marketing and Communications, said the University of Oklahoma received allegations of serious misconduct that it was legally obligated to investigate, and that appropriate individuals will have an opportunity to be interviewed during the investigation. Since Boren has denied any misconduct and his attorney referred to this investigation as a fishing expedition, Bob Burke claimed that Boren has been a public servant for more than 50 years and whose life is an open book. The university is paying the law firm around $85,000 in respect to the ongoing investigation, but has also paid close to $200,000 for other investigations involving OU administration. The OU Regents Chair Leslie Rainbolt Forbes said, "This is a sensitive situation that we are still seeking to fully understand," also saying that while they are not rushing to any judgments, they will absolutely and aggressively do the right thing. Now, Boren's attorney also called the investigation a prosecution and claimed that he and David Boren have received no detailed complaint. Jones Day has not yet agreed to meet with Boren and his attorney, and we are still unsure as to where these allegations have come from. Reporting live from Evans Hall, Jaycie Bayless.
OU Nightly did reach out to OU's Title IX office and the university's Office of Public Affairs. We have not yet received comment. Many people will recall there's been a war of words between Boren and current OU President James Gallegly. OU Nightly's Madeline Roberts has a look back at the feud's timeline.
Secret that there's animosity between the current and former presidents, but the question is, when did it all begin?
By people in both parties.
Before becoming the president of OU, David Boren served as the governor of Oklahoma and as a U.S. senator. In 1994, he was appointed as OU's 13th president, and then in June of last year, 14 years later, Boren retired and business executive James Gallegly was chosen by the OU Board of Regents to replace him on March 26th. That day, Gallegly posted a tweet calling Boren a dear friend and thanking him for building OU into what it is today. However, the transition between Boren and Gallegly has been anything but seamless and friendly. Before Gallegly took office on June 19, 2018, he expressed criticism of the university's financial status to the Board of Regents. Boren countered with a letter to the Norman Transcript the next day, defending the university's finances. After the publication of that letter, Gallegly allegedly told an OU administrator he had a message for Boren. "You tell him that I am the meanest SOB he has ever seen, and if he ever crosses me again, I will destroy him." Gallegly's administration has denied the contents of the message. Most recently, Gallegly's administration began paying the Jones Day Law Firm to look into claims that Boren sexually harassed male aides. With the apparent long-standing feud between the two administrations, some may call into question the validity of the investigation launched from Gallegly's administration. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Madeline Roberts.
Reaction to the news of the investigation has been mixed. Of the students we talked to, many wanted to reserve judgment until there's more information about the allegations.
Personally, for me, they were pretty surprising, but I think that we have to advocate for due process before we go and tarnish his character. I personally disagree with a lot of his politics and how he ran the university.
I think it's sad that this is coming out about somebody who has such a big presence on campus, or used to at least. I really hope it's not true, but we'll see how it unfolds.
Boren's attorney says the 77-year-old is not in good health and is unavailable to comment on this investigation.
Well, Brooke, on a bit of a lighter note, we've got a bright, sunny, and beautiful Valentine's Day.
We do. Meteorologist Joe Decarlo joins us now with the first look at the weather. Joe, I hear the 70s won't last very long.
Yeah, guys, right now we are sitting, it was very warm for Valentine's Day. It is sitting at 69 degrees here in Norman. Now it is in the 70s out in western Oklahoma, 70 in Elk City and 76 in Lawton. Now out west it is windier and is also drier. The relative humidity right now is 13% in Lubbock and 16% in Amarillo. Now this is increasing the fire risk out in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. Now coming up on weather, we will talk about this warm Valentine's Day evening. We're seeing winter making a comeback this weekend and also any rain and snow chances coming up on your 7-day. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Joe. Oklahoma teachers may get another pay raise this fall if some state lawmakers have their way. During the 2018 walkout, teachers asked for a $10,000 pay raise in addition to more classroom funding. They received a portion of their requested amount, but yesterday, House Bill 1780 passed out of committee. It would provide a $1,200 hike in teacher pay. Governor Kevin Stitt has indicated he supports a teacher raise this year.
A bill allowing Oklahomans to carry firearms without a license or training is one step closer to landing on Governor Kevin Stitt's desk. The House Bill 2597 has advanced through the House vote. This bill, known as constitutional carry, allows anyone at least 21 years of age to carry a firearm without a permit, licensing, or training. Individuals with felony convictions are not permitted to carry. If passed, the Oklahoma State Bureau reports a potential $4 million in revenue loss from lack of firearm licensing.
New developments in the nation's capital this afternoon. President Trump says one way or another he will find funding for the border wall. Kelsey Hovanetz joins us from the News Center with an update on the situation. Kelsey?
Thanks, Parker. Well, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced today that President Trump does plan to sign a compromise border security measure. He also plans to declare a national state of emergency to secure funding for his proposed border wall. The 1,100-page bill was passed 83-16 this afternoon by the Senate. This fight over border barriers is what led to the 35-day government shutdown that ended just less than a month ago. And the U.S. Senate confirmed William Barr as the new U.S. Attorney General this morning. The vote was 54-45. This is not Barr's first time in this role. He served as the Attorney General during the George H.W. Bush administration. He's taking over a department that the president has criticized for a number of reasons, including Robert Mueller's investigation of Russian meddling back in the 2016 presidential election. When that investigation wraps up, it'll be up to Barr to decide how much information is released to the public. And today marks 1 year since 17 people were killed in the Parkland shooting in Florida. Hundreds of thousands of students and adults across Florida bowed their heads in a moment of silence to mark the first anniversary of the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. The moment of silence was held at over 1,000 schools in Florida at 10:17 a.m. to represent the 17 people killed during the attack last year. The shooting led Stoneman Douglas students to form the group March for Our Lives, which fights for tougher gun control regulations across the country. Brooke students at Stoneman Douglas also participated in service projects and wore shirts reading #MSDStrong to honor the victims of the tragedy.
Thank you, Kelsey. The man accused of attempting to blow up the Bank First building in Oklahoma City is standing trial in federal court, and the first witness took the stand yesterday. Jerry Varnell pleaded not guilty to charges of attempted use of an explosive device and attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction. Varnell planned to detonate a vehicle bomb in August of 2017, but an undercover agent provided inert materials. Defense attorneys argued that Varnell was entrapped. Now, diet soda lovers will tell you why you might want to split up with a drink.
Plus, what better way to brighten your Valentine's Day than a giant bear hug? Stay with us on OU Nightly. Welcome back to OU Nightly. It's that time of year. The flu is hitting Oklahoma hard.
OU Nightly's Bayley Bates has details in today's Health Beat.
Brooke, new numbers from the State Department of Health show an increase in the number of flu cases in the state. And there's also new information about just how effective the flu shot is this year. The CDC says this season's flu shot is 47% effective at preventing the disease. It is most effective for kids with a 61% rate and least effective for adults over 50 at only 24%. Numbers aside, people who are vaccinated generally get less severe symptoms for shorter periods of time. And here's one for those who think drinking diet soda is better for you. A study from the American Heart Association and American Stroke Association says that drinking 2 or more of any kind of artificially sweetened drinks a day is linked to a greater risk of heart attacks, clot-based strokes, and early death in women over 50. Risks are higher for women with no history or heart disease, as well as women who are obese. Previous research also shown link between diet beverages and dementia, diabetes, and obesity. And today is Valentine's Day, but it's also National Organ Donor Day. This Valentine's, you could give someone something a little more special, or maybe just pledge that you will. Experts say that organ donations could save up to as many lives as 8. Many factors like blood type and body size, how sick the patient is, the recipient's distance from the donor, and tissue type must be considered when matching donors with a recipient. And guys, to register to be a donor, you just need to go to the driver license office with a valid ID.
That's awesome that you get to share that with people, because I personally am an organ donor. And I believe, I'm not trying to get morbid or anything, but this Valentine's Day, give something, and people can be receiving all the time.
And I am actually going to consider signing up to be a donor too. So
thanks so much, Bayley. In an effort to broaden their physical scope of influence, Google plans to commit $13 billion to geographic expansion. The colossal tech company plans to open new data centers in 7 states this year, including Midwestern locales like Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Ohio. Google believes that establishing these centers will create tens of thousands of new jobs. And finances are tight for many college students. Sometimes meals are a luxury. Find out what one student organization is doing to fight hunger.
And Joe Decarlo has an in-depth look at your Oklahoma weather.
Hey guys, right now it is sunny and clear throughout the state, but will those warm 70-degree weather continue? Coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're taking a live look at downtown Oklahoma City right now on this Valentine's Day. It is a beautiful day, partly sunny skies. We are sitting at 67 degrees right now. The winds are out of the north at 8 miles an hour, and a dew point is at 29. Now throughout the state, it is warm throughout. 67 in Norman, 69 in Oklahoma City. It is 77 degrees right now in Lawton. Now this warm weather will not last, unfortunately, but this dry weather will continue. Well, we are looking ahead at the radar forecast. We see an ice storm in northern Oklahoma tonight, and then in Missouri and Kansas, they are talking about snow. Now, there's a parade of storms that will move north of us throughout the next couple days. However, we stay mainly dry through the weekend. Now, we do turn our attention to early next week. We are stopping here at Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. We see a rain, ice, and snow chance out in western Oklahoma. Now, this storm is 5 days out, and things will change over the next couple of days, but we will keep an eye on it over through the weekend to see how it will impact us. Right now, the cold will move on south throughout this evening tonight. We will be at 45 degrees, and tomorrow there will be a sharp gradient between us and Texas. It will be close to 80 degrees in Dallas, while we stay in the middle 40s. Now the cold air will push down into Texas throughout the day tomorrow night, and we will drop to the middle 20s for Saturday morning. Now this cold pattern continues through the weekend as we stay in the 40s and 50s, and we will continue this into early next week. Now planning your Valentine's Day evening tonight, if you are planning to go out, 58 degrees at 8 p.m., dropping to the 40s by 10, and then 40 at midnight. And the lows tonight will be 34 degrees here in Norman and 40 in Lawton, so the cold air will definitely make a comeback later on tonight. Planning your day tomorrow, we start in the 30s and then move up into 42 degrees by 5 p.m. Throughout the state, we will be colder, 42 degrees in Norman with 50s hanging on down south. Looking ahead at your 7-day forecast, we do stay cold throughout the week and stay in the middle to upper 30s with relatively dry conditions. But we will have to track that storm for Tuesday as we have a chance for snow.
I'll tell you what, Joe, I really didn't anticipate celebrating Valentine's Day with a cold front, but I guess it is
nice
what it
now,
is.
But good things can't last forever. So
Well, thanks so
we'll
much.
get through it. Yep.
The OU Food Pantry is working to combat food insecurity on campus. A national hunger study found that 44% of college students cut the size of their meal or skip a meal because they're worried about money. 20% don't eat for a whole day. The food pantry wants to make sure any student who needs a meal has a place to get it.
Walk in, you show us your OU ID, we just swipe it in our system to verify, and then after that you can just go ahead and walk around, pick up whatever you need. A lot of times people ask if they can take for their family, and that answer is absolutely yes. You know, we want to be able to help out as much as possible.
If you or anyone you know is in need of food, go to ou.edu/food pantry to register. You can create your order online to pick up during business hours.
Well, it may be getting cold here in the next couple days, but for now it certainly feels like spring outside, which means it's almost time for baseball in Oklahoma.
Cal Day is here as the Sooners prepare for their first pitch.
Hey, that's right. The Sooners are gearing up for a triple header on the diamond. Plus, the losing streak is over in women's basketball. Stick around. Sports is on the other side. Welcome back. OU women's basketball is back in the win column for the first time since January 2nd following last night's win over the Kansas Jayhawks. It was another big night for Anna Yanusa, leading all scorers with 21 points. Freshman Maddie Williams provided a double-double on 18 points and 11 rebounds. After leading at the half, the Sooners went on to win 78-67 for win number 6 on the season. Up next is a trip to Waco to take on Baylor this Saturday. And the OU softball team will be busy taking part in the first ever Clearwater Invitational in the Sunshine State this weekend. The third-ranked Sooners are in action as we speak, currently leading Kentucky 4-1 in the middle of the 6th. That's not all for today. The Sooners have a date with Notre Dame at 6 tonight local time. On Friday, the Sooners will meet Florida Atlantic and Florida State before wrapping up the weekend with Hofstra on Saturday morning. And the top-ranked OU women's gymnastics team will have their hands full in Oklahoma City. The Sooners will take part in their second quad meet of the season, taking on Washington, Arizona State, and George Washington on Friday night. Meanwhile, men's gym will take part in the Winter Cup in Las Vegas. The Sooners are sending 13 current, former, or future gymnasts to the USA Gymnastics meet. And the Sooners are losing a second defensive lineman in as many weeks. 2019 signee and early enrollee Derek Green announced he is leaving the program. OU Insider reports Green will enlist with the U.S. Navy. Freshman DN Ron Tatum entered the transfer portal last week, signaling his departure from the Sooners. And Kara Karbs joins us now as OU baseball prepares for their first pitch of the season. Kara?
Well, Cal, it's officially baseball season in Oklahoma. The Sooner baseball team is gearing up for their season opener this weekend against Cal Poly.
What we think about the Cal Poly team, I mean, they're going to be well coached. I mean, they're a West Coast team. They're going to be offensive. They're going to put a lot of pressure on you. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to do things that the game tells you to do.
This is the first meeting ever between the Sooners and Cal Poly. Last season, OU finished with a 38-25 overall record and 4th in the Big 12. However, they were eliminated in the NCAA regionals. The first pitch of the triple header is tomorrow at 3. They also face off on Saturday at 2 and Sunday at noon. And Cal, this season the Sooners are hoping to make their 39th NCAA tournament appearance.
All right, thank you, Kara. And breaking news, the Oklahoma City Thunder have signed Markieff Morris, according to multiple reports. The former Wizard was waived by the Pelicans after being traded last week, and it won't be a long commute for Morris as the Thunder hit the road tonight as they take on the Pelicans. The Thunder are riding a wave of momentum, winning 12 of their last 13 games. Russell Westbrook is in the midst of a historic season, throwing up 10 straight triple-doubles. The script is flipped for the Pelicans, who have lost 8 of their last 11, including a 30-point loss to Orlando on Tuesday. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock local time tonight. And it was a dramatic night in Portland as the Golden State Warriors fell on the road. Warriors head man Steve Kerr was tossed after receiving 2 texts just ahead of the All-Star break. Obviously intense there. Never good to see your head coach thrown out of the game.
No, for a mild-mannered guy like Steve Kerr, I'm frankly surprised to see those kind of theatrics.
That's right.
Well, are you feeling very alone this Valentine's Day?
Some OU students found love in the arms of a furry friend. Stay with us.
Welcome back. I'm Robert McGee at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Ray Davis Family Trust gave a $1 million donation to Enid Public Schools on Wednesday. These new funds will provide 2 scholarships a year to recipients attending Oklahoma State University, Northern Oklahoma College, or a career technology center. The deadline to apply for the Vicki and Kevin Davis Scholarship is March 15th. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Robert. And Brooke, I don't know about you, but I think hugs are great any day, especially Valentine's Day.
Well, me too. And Parker, today on OU's campus, there's a bear giving hugs to students. Now, honestly, I don't know if there's a more heartwarming gift to give on this day than the gift of a hug.
I know, I very much appreciate that.
Exactly. So hugs, candy, chocolate, everything. And as you can see in the video, the bear is just going around giving hugs to students. The University of Oklahoma Instagram story
pretty much
has
a celebrity.
Plenty of those. Yes, and they're at our own Gaylord College.
All right, well, that is certainly something. And now we're rejoined by Joe Decarlo, who has a weather fact of the day for us.
Hey guys, it was a really warm Valentine's Day today. We made it up to around 70 degrees, but it was not the warmest Valentine's Day on record. The warmest is in 1954 at 81 degrees, and the coldest was 20 degrees as a high in 1951. So we're kind of in the middle, but more on the upper side.
81 degrees in February. Can we get more of that?
A little warm. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Not next week. But
I can't imagine if it was 20. I mean, walking around campus today was just beautiful.
it was perfect today.
All right, well, thank you so much, Joe. And thank you for watching OU Nightly. We're live from Studio A in Gaylord College on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday. Join us tomorrow at 4:30 for news, weather, and Big Friday sports.
Have a great evening.
Good night.